Pack your bags, but don't be too sure where you're headed. In this episode of Geographical Thinking Caps, we're testing your ability to tell fact from fiction. Our contestants will face off to decide, is that town on the map or just on the movie screen? From quirky Canadian communities to picture-perfect holiday villages, every guess could land you in a real hometown or a real holiday classic. With jokes, geography, and just the right amount of misdirection, who will navigate their way to victory? Grab your atlas, or maybe just your popcorn, and let's begin. Welcome back to Geographical Thinking. I'm Michelle Brake, and I'll be your guide as we explore ideas, stories, and conversations through the lens of geography. This is a special edition of Geographical Thinking called Geographical Thinking Caps. This is our version of a game show where our contestants flex their geospatial muscles to show us what they know about the world around them. The topic for today is place names, but specifically if they're real or made up for the movie screen. Each section of questions will have a different focus area under the umbrella of all things movie, TV, and a few holiday things thrown in there. Each question will be multiple choice and no stealing this time around. So that is our rules for our players. Let's meet who will be competing today. Our first competitor today is Allison O'Brien. She's a technical solution specialist on the technical marketing team, where she's all about turning powerful GIS tools into practical magic, whether she's creating engaging content or helping users unlock the full potential of Esri's applications. Allison loves seeing how real-world problems get solved, one map at a time. And when she's off the clock, you'll find her in the rink, playing her favorite sport on ice, ringette. Fast-paced, strategic, and full of team spirit, just like her approach to tech. Allison, welcome to this episode of Geographical Thinking. I know you're no stranger to podcasts, but welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to get through these questions. I'm a little bit nervous that I'm going to get everything wrong, but I'm going to try my best.
Hey, I appreciate pessimistic outlook on today. Hopefully we can get a few questions in that'll make you feel a little more optimistic even after round one. When it comes to movies and places within them, how well do you pay attention? Do we know the difference between Riverdale and Rivendell, or is it all kind of just back of the mind stuff?
It's all a blur to me. It's all a blur. I do love movies, but once I've watched it, it goes in one ear, out the other. So we'll see how it goes today.
Okay, fair enough. Let's meet your competitor to see what their outlook is on it. Maybe we'll have a match game here today. So next up is Alison Pinto. She's the team lead for Web Digital Experience at Esri Canada, where she's on a mission to make every click count, from crafting seamless website journeys to keeping the online store and resource hubs running like a dream. She's got an eye on the data too, tracking campaign performance and turning analytics into action. When she's not optimizing pages, you'll find her biking through scenic trails, discovering hidden gems, or diving into the world of art and self-expression. Whether it's UX or scrapbooking, Allison brings creativity to everything she does. Allison, welcome to the show. How are you feeling today?
Thank you so much. I'm very excited and very, very much not confident as well. I will say I am a fan of Hallmark movies and I love a good holiday movie, but I definitely do not register the locations that people are in or the little towns. I feel like there's a lot of information in these movies, and often it's the writing that registers in my mind more than anything. So yeah, I'm very nervous to be representing the Allisons today. Um,
Well, it sounds like we're at least evenly matched then for Allison versus Allison. Now, for our listeners at home, to keep it a little clearer in your mind, we're going to go by last names with our guests. So we'll go O'Brien and Pinto. O'Brien, keeping up things for the GIS side of the world, and Pinto, keeping up things for everything else online. Really, a lot of people represented there. How are we feeling? Are we ready to get into it?
Let's go.
ready as ever.
Okay. We're going to start simple. When you hear a wild town name, do you assume it's real until proven fake, or are you convinced it might be straight out of Hollywood? Since the only way to begin is by beginning, we're going to move on to this first round of questions, and we're going to start with some examples from pop culture that you likely already know. We're going to start with O'Brien. Rivendell, maybe you recognize the mention from earlier on, is the beautiful elven refuge nestled in the mountains, and it's known for the tranquility and wisdom that it brings. But is it a real-world location or fictional movie place?
I wish that it was a real world place. I'm assuming it's not real. That's going to be my answer, but I wish that it was real because I would definitely go visit.
You are correct. It is a fake place featured in the wonderful Lord of the Rings series. See, child study, get us started. Now that takes us over to Pinto. Again, we're starting with the easy stuff so we can all settle in. In the rainy town of Forks, Washington, is this a real place you can explore or just a moody backdrop imagined for the Twilight Saga?
This is an absolutely real place. So much so that I made it a point to visit Forks, Washington, because I had to walk along La Push Beach and live my Twilight dreams.
That is correct, as you already know. To be fair, I didn't know that you had done that adventure, so I appreciate that side quest being thrown in.
I'm so jealous. That is amazing.
Twi-hearted
Yeah,
me had to live it through.
right? So we're 1 for 1. A good, easy start. I know we were concerned, but first round, first couple questions out the gate. Now we're back over to O'Brien. In the sun-soaked town of Ojai, California, is this a real place you can visit or just the fictional backdrop created for the high school hijinks of Easy A, which came out 15 years ago?
Great question. Easy A. That's with the what's that actress's name?
Emma Stone?
Emma Stone. Yes. Can I get the spelling of the city?
Ojai is Ojai.
I'm going to say that is a real place.
And you would be correct. And they even filmed at one of the high schools in the town, so very much filmed on location for that one.
Great.
Okay. Pinto, last one for our first round here. Pandora is known for its lush rainforest and radiant coral reefs. Is this a real place or a fictional setting from a movie?
I think that's a fake place. I don't know. I'm not
It
confident
is
about that
fake.
answer. Okay.
It is. Any chance you know what movie it could be from?
No.
That's fair. It's from Avatar. But that's fair. We know a couple things. First round out the gate, we're 2 for 2. See? Very easy. Feeling comfortable. How are we feeling now? Are we ready for a second round?
Let's do it.
The nerves have calmed. I'm ready.
Okay. So, some easy points to get us started. We're going to stretch our legs a little by stepping away from what people have probably heard about to places within our borders. This round's all about Canada. O'Brien, to get us started. The TV show Son of a Critch takes place in St. John's, Newfoundland. Is this a real place, or is there some trickery going on with the inclusion of an S or no S in this name?
Okay, this is embarrassing because I get this wrong all the time. Okay. I'm going to say it's a real place, and I'm so sorry for all the Canadians that are listening. If I get this wrong, that is embarrassing. I'm going to say it's real.
Fortunately, you are correct. The way to always remember it is St. John is in New Brunswick, but St. John's plural is Newfoundland and Labrador, the 2 parts in the name for the province.
I will remember that for the rest of my life.
And hopefully that'll help our users and listeners as well. But we got that one right. On to Pinto. The show Kim's Convenience takes place in the neighborhood of Moss Park in Toronto. Is this neighborhood real or made up for TV?
That's a real neighborhood.
It is. And by chance, have you also visited that area?
I have, and I've visited the location, the Kim's Convenience location where they filmed.
Love
It
to
is
see
indeed
that
a
we've done some
convenience
ground
store.
truthing. Yeah. Okay. Back over to O'Brien. Is the small town hub of Dog River, Saskatchewan a real place on the map, or was it a fictional community built up for laughs and corner gas?
Corner gas. That rings a bell. That's an older show, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're gonna say it is real.
Fortunately, it was made up for the small screen. It is a
Darn.
made up TV town, not real, but it does sound like the kind of thing that would be real, right?
It does. It does.
Okay.
Too bad.
That's okay. We had to get a few wrong eventually. We got to keep it interesting with the score. Pinto, we're over to you. Is the rural town of Letterkenny, Ontario, a real place you can visit, or a fictional setting created for the fast talking comedy Letterkenny?
See, it sounds like something that would be in Ontario, so I'm gonna say it is real, but I'm not confident at all about this.
It is unfortunately made up for TV. Now, there are Letterkennys other places in the world. There's a Letterkenny in Ireland, but not a Letterkenny in Ontario. But I understand why that thinking may come up.
Had to even it out. It's okay.
Okay, we got to keep it going. O'Brien, we're back over to you. Is Marshalltown, Nova Scotia a real place that Maud Lewis grew up, or was it made for the movie Maudie?
Never heard of this movie before. And Michelle, the fellow Nova Scotian, will you give me a hint? I'm going to say no, it's not real.
That is unfortunately incorrect. It's a real place just near Digby, Nova Scotia. Very famous for Maud Lewis and her paintings. Highly recommend checking out the movie. It's a great example of Canadian folk art and the story of Maud Lewis.
Dang.
Okay. Rounding out our Canadian-centric round here. Pinto, is the town of Ice Cove, Nunavut a real place, or the fictional setting for the comedy North of North?
Like, just judging by the climate, I'm gonna say it's a real place.
That is also unfortunately incorrect. So this one gets a little tricky. The place itself, Ice Cove, does not exist. But in the TV show, North of North, in the last episode of the first season, they do show where it would be on a map, which is a real place up in one of the peninsulas. So a bit of trickery going on there. But that's okay. We got it. We featured some great Canadian TV shows and movies that maybe we have to go back and check out now to really solidify what's going on here. Are you ready for another round?
Yes, that was a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on.
Okay, perseverance. We got this. So we're going to kick it up a little bit with testing your knowledge of winter and holiday related places. This set of questions, it's your job to tell me if the place we're talking about is real or made up for a Hallmark style holiday movie. Feeling up to the challenge?
Definitely. This is fun.
Okay. So, Brian, we're going to start with you. Christmas Island, Nova Scotia. Is this a real Canadian community or just the kind of place Hallmark would dream up for a holiday movie?
I think this is real, Michelle. We've definitely had conversations about this in the past, I think. Or I could be dreaming this. I think it is a real place.
You would be correct, Allison. Christmas Island is a community just up in Cape Breton Island here in Nova Scotia. And every December, its post office is swamped with letters from around the world wanting that Christmas Island postmark. I even had an aunt who would send them out yearly, would make the drive over just so we could get Christmas Island.
That's amazing.
Right? So, some fun areas. You can always try and send your own holiday card this year. But Pinto, we're over to you. From Maple Valley, British Columbia. Is this charming town a real spot you can visit or a fictional setting for Hallmark's Maple Valley Christmas?
I think this is fiction.
That is correct. It is fictional, though the movie was filmed in beautiful locations in British Columbia to bring it to life. And there are nearby places like Maple Bay and Maple Ridge, just not Maple Valley.
That was a good guess. I will say it could have gone any way for me.
Some of them, they sound stranger than fiction at times. With that, O'Brien, we're over to you for Love, Saskatchewan. Is this charming named town a real Canadian village or a fictional setting from a feel good movie?
I don't think this is real. I would love if it was real, but I don't think it is. Final answer.
Okay, unfortunately, that is incorrect. Love is an actual village in Saskatchewan named after Tom Love, the conductor of the first train through the area. The town is famous for its teddy bear and heart postmark and is a popular spot for couples hoping to get married, so much so that they're fundraising for a wedding chapel.
How adorable.
Right?
Wow.
Okay, but we're going to head over to the other part of the country now. Pinto, Happy Adventure, Newfoundland. Does this delightfully cheery place actually exist on the east coast of Canada? Or is it just a feel good movie town waiting to happen?
See, this is a hard one because I feel like Newfoundland is a whimsical place. So it could very well be true. It could be a real place. I'm gonna say real, just out of like the hope in my heart, you know?
And you would be correct. Happy Adventure is a small fishing community in Newfoundland with a name that it does feel like it's pulled straight from a holiday movie script. Okay. O'Brien, back over to you for Garland, Alberta. Is this a real town you could visit or a fictional setting created for a holiday movie?
Garland. I do love a good garland on the mantle. Um, this is a real place. Maybe.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Garland, Alberta is entirely fictional, though it was the setting for a holiday movie filmed in picturesque locations in British Columbia to bring the cozy town to life. A lot of places filmed out in British Columbia, it seems.
It's a great spot to film. It's gorgeous over there.
Mhm. Okay, but rounding out our Canadian round here, Pinto, we have Reindeer Station, Northwest Territories. Is this an actual northern settlement in Canada or just a festive sounding name cooked up for the movies?
Oh, I know that there's a reindeer in the territories for sure, but I don't know if it's Reindeer Station. So that's what's throwing me off. I'm gonna say this is fictional.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Your instincts of reindeer something being true were on the right track. So, Reindeer Station was established in the 1930s as part of a government project to herd reindeer across the Arctic. It's tiny, remote, and has a history that does sound stranger than fiction.
Wow, that's very
So many
cool.
places within our borders.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we've come from the things that are pretty popular, we've gone into some Canadian based rounds. We're already at our final round here. And to keep things fun for everyone, we're going to go back to some popular places. But instead of focusing on is it a movie place or a real place, this set of questions is going to focus on real world locations globally that doubled as a fictional setting in a popular movie or TV show. O'Brien, we're starting with you. The Shire in The Lord of the Rings. Which country is home to the real Hobbiton set? Wales, Ireland, or New Zealand?
I know this one. I would love to go there one day. New Zealand.
And that is correct. New
Yes.
Zealand's such a beautiful place. I know it's on my bucket list as well to visit. Okay, Pinto, we're over to you. King's Landing in Game of Thrones. Where was the majority of King's Landing filmed? In Croatia, Portugal, or Spain?
I think it's Croatia.
That is correct. Great job. It's filmed in Dubrovnik specifically, and like they've got big towers and things. It's also one of the few that really like all of them do have coastal areas, but Dubrovnik in itself, pretty spectacular to see. Okay. O'Brien, this is your last question. The planet Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back for Star Wars. Where was the icy Hoth scenes filmed? Iceland, Norway, or Antarctica?
Okay, so my husband's a huge Star Wars fan. I am not. Sorry for all the big fans. I did just go to Norway, but I don't think it's Norway. I'm going to say Iceland, but I'm not very confident with this.
Unfortunately, your first instance of Norway, not Norway, would have been correct. Norway is the answer. Iceland is incorrect. I'm so sorry.
Darn.
It just sounds like we have to revisit and have a Star Wars marathon.
Yes.
Okay. Pinto, last question here. Jurassic Park's Isla Nublar. Where were all the jungle scenes for Jurassic Park filmed? In Fiji, Costa Rica, or Hawaii?
Oh, I have no idea at all. Whew, okay. I'm gonna say Hawaii.
That is correct. The jungle scenes are famously filmed in Hawaii. There's a pretty expansive field and jungle area that they did the bulk of the filming for Jurassic Park in. That it's also on my bucket list to try and visit one day. But then, like, you just have the sounds of Jurassic Park theme playing in your head. Okay, with that, that brings us to the end of our questions. And I know what you're wondering is, who's our winner for this episode of Geographical Thinking Caps? And the final score is Allison O'Brien with 7 and Allison Pinto with 9. Congratulations, Allison Pinto, our winner for today. Any words of wisdom or celebratory you want to share with our audience?
I just think that this proves that the double L is the way to go, everyone. Just letting you know. Sorry to all the single L Allisons out there. This is like a hard proof that we can do it. Double L's for the win. I have to say, my guessing game is definitely improved over time. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Allison O'Brien, any words of congratulatory you want to offer the other Allison?
Great game, Allison, double L Allison. And I'm so sorry to all the 1L Allisons out there. I will do better next time.
Yeah, we gotta make a trip to Saskatchewan just for victory
Yes.
tour. I don't know, consolation round.
That's a fair thing as well. Maybe we'll have to go tour some of these places and see. Maybe just fact check, do some ground truthing. That's always an important part of GIS work. With that, that wraps up another lively edition of Geographical Thinking Caps. Our contestants have journeyed through the map, sorting fact from fiction, and exploring quirky Canadian towns, cozy movie villages, and all the places in between. From Rivendell to Maple Valley, we've discovered that sometimes reality is stranger than fiction, and sometimes fiction feels like home. We hope you had as much fun playing along as we did hosting it. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep thinking geographically.